The different Sampradayas actually evolved from one single unit, one could say Kerala Kalamandalam, because that was in 1930 established, an institution that was established to revive an almost lost form that existed at that time. And so from there, many of those females who learners who learned from there, when they branched off from that particular institution, they started their own innovations, their own creativity, their own pratibha came into being, and so the style again evolved into another beautiful form. But because each one developed in their own understanding of the form, they were sensitive to its own inherent quality, innate quality, each one developed in their own different styles, and so therefore the Sampradayas developed. But what is important is to see that what is the aesthetics in each of these Sampradayas. If we pay attention especially to the modern day dancers who are learning Mohiniyattam, that one must focus on the aesthetics of every Sampradaya rather than seeing what is not so appealing. One should ignore if one doesn't find anything appealing, and accept those movements that are beautiful in any Sampradaya. For instance, now in Kalyani Kutti Amma, when I was learning from her, most of the movements had Hamsasya. So whenever they took this movement, it was always a Hamsasya. And so whenever they took this movement, Hamsasya, most of the movements, these movements, they were all having this Hamsasya. But if you closely look at many of the movements of Kalamandalam, you'll find Mudrakya. So you will have something like this, something like this, but both look very beautiful to me. So it's up to us that what kind of a movement, even this kind of a movement, it can have a Hamsasya, it can also have a Mudrakya. So it is up to how we look at ourselves when we, in fact, how the audience find us. How appealing do we look to the audience, because they happen to be our critics. And the postures also, everybody being different from the other. The movement, certain adavus that you do, even if the adavus are explained to you that it should be slightly above the chest level, everything, the fingers, the shoulder, the hands should be at the shoulder level, the fingers should be erect and straight. Whatever is the general training system that every Sampradaya gives, even then, depending upon our structure, body structure, we can change a little bit when we are doing a particular movement. Whatever looks graceful to our body structure, one can always modify those movements. But at the same time, one has to be careful that nothing has to be overdone, that it loses its aesthetic beauty. That has to be very, very sensitively and very, very with lot of understanding of the style. That's the only way that one can actually modify these movements or subtly bring about some changes in those movements. So therefore, my understanding of the art form, what I have understood is, whenever you want to express a dance, a composition through your form, through your style, one needs to understand the language, the lyrics, not only the peripheral at the peripheral level, but the deep-rooted meaning of each and every word, the connect to the particular situation in which that composition, in which context that composition has been written. Then most important is, how do we try to create, how do we try to choreograph that? One should have an understanding of music. One should have the understanding of the appropriate ragas to be chosen to bring out the best of those emotions and sentiments. One should have the understanding, complete understanding of all the tala system, not just the sopana talas, which are very different from the Carnatic talas, Suladi Sapta talas, but one should have an understanding of both the systems, tala systems one must have, to bring about the best in the choreographic presentations.